Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, that a child of farm workers can become the president of a great nation. It is what we make out of what we have, not what we are given, that separates one person from another. From the poorest of countries to the richest of nations, education is the key to moving forward in any society. Poverty is not an accident. Like slavery and apartheid, it is man-made and can be removed by the actions of human beings. Education is the great engine to personal development. Without education, your children can never really meet the challenges they will face. So it's important to give children education and explain that they should play a role for their country. No country can really develop unless its citizens are educated. Educating all of our children must be one of our most urgent priorities. We all know that education, more than anything else, improves your chances of building better lives. It can be said that there are 4 basic and primary things that the mass of people in a society wish for: to live in a safe environment, to be able to work and provide for themselves, to have access to good public health, and to have sound educational opportunities for their children. The question of education has nothing to do with the question of the vote. On numerous occasions, it has been proved in history that people can enjoy the vote even if they have no education. It reaffirmed my long-held belief that education was the enemy of prejudice. These were men and women of science, and science had no room for racism. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. On the first day of school, my teacher, Miss Mdingana, gave each of us an English name and said that from thenceforth that was the name we would answer to in school. This was the custom among Africans in those days and was undoubtedly due to the British bias of our education. No country can really develop unless its citizens are educated. Any nation that is progressive is led by people who have had the privilege of studying. The power of education extends beyond the development of skills we need for economic success. It can contribute to nation building and reconciliation. Our previous system emphasized the physical and other differences of South Africans with devastating effects. We are steadily but surely introducing education that enables our children to exploit their similarities and common goals, while appreciating the strength in their diversity. It is not beyond our power to create a world in which all children have access to a good education. No child in Africa, and in fact anywhere in the world, should be denied education. Rhetoric is not important. Actions are. A good head and good heart are always a formidable combination. But when you add to that a literate tongue or pen, then you have something very special. Let's recommit to work towards our common goal, a nation where all of us are winners, all of us have shelter, food, and education. Prison itself is a tremendous education in the need for patience and perseverance. It is above all a test of one's commitment. The education I received was a British education, in which British ideas, British culture, British institutions, were automatically assumed to be superior. There was no such thing as African culture. Young people must take it upon themselves to ensure that they receive the highest education possible, so that they can represent us well in future as future leaders. There are certain precautions you should take to prepare yourself for a fruitful study career. You must brush up your knowledge through systematic reading of literature and newspapers. Discussion sharpens one's interest in any subject and accordingly inspires reading and corrects errors.